37.
Now, we want the truth on this one. How old were you?
Oh, about 16 or something.
Oh, only about 16.
16.
Was that your right age?
No.
Can't get his right age out of him. I've known him for 40 odd years and I still can't do it.
Well, I'm 85.
Is that your right age?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Ready to go?
Yeah, we've been going.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, we've asked the first couple of questions. Oh, what was your first ship then?
The Waruna.
Waruna. What type of ship was that, mate?
She was a bay boat. Running up around Geelong, so went up nicely 40.
Mm.
She carried 2,200 passengers.
Mm.
She had 6 firemen, 16 ABs, 2 buckos and 2 deck boys. She done 19 knots and she was an induced draft job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's that mean?
She had to shut all doors to the stokehold and all that.
All right.
She had 2 stokeholds.
Mm.
She burned 19 tonne of coal for the 8 hours.
All right. Yeah.
Tonne of coal.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
You were lucky you weren't a fireman on that one then, mate.
I was.
You was?
Yeah.
For a little while, yeah?
So what made you go to sea, mate? What made you?
Oh, right for every family.
Was it? Yeah. What were conditions like in those days then?
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Long hours?
Well, 4 on and 8 off. The overtime rates was 2 threepence an hour in the day and 2 ninepence an hour later. And you done 24 hours day turns.
Mm.
So that was shoveling and burning coal right through.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your leave like then? What did you get leave?
10 days a year.
10 days a year. Yeah.
And if you didn't like anybody in the ship, you relieved them, and when they was due to come back, you chuck your hand in. So that's how you got rid of some of the men of the ships.
She would have been pretty quick in and out of port, wouldn't she? But
5 weeks,
was it?
6 weeks.
But right, yeah. Yeah.
Passenger ships to Canberra, 2 days.
Mm.
It took well, I was with Dennis Cassidy, I was in the Bull Car, I was joining in Adelaide. I was 11.5 months in there. We used to run Fremantle, Bunbury, Busselton, Gellerton, Miss Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, right up to north. And she used to pick up the iron in Port Kembla, and they drop that off and pick up sugar all the way up. You got the cans and townsville, you'd be 5 or 6 weeks there. Then you go direct to the west then.
And what ship was that?
Bill Cower.
Right, yeah.
A&L B-boat.
Yeah. Then when I left there, the same mob, we all joined the next ship, come out of dry dock, the Bimborough.
Sister ship.
I took him in there, and I was in there till she laid off 9 months, and she was on the same run.
What was the conditions like? What was the food like in those days?
Well, for a start, the Australian coast, she was the only coast in the world where we fought for every condition we got. And all the other countries, the condition they got, it was given to them, which wasn't much. in office in them days, there was all Liverpool officials.
Mm. So,
In the food, I was using the document, the bosun, the carpenter, and the traders. They had their own little mess room.
mm.
On the Sunday, they got chicken, but we never.
Yeah,
So
right.
we just swapped the food about.
Mm. Mm. And what sort of working gear and that sort of thing did they used to issue you with?
None.
None. Simple. Yeah.
We had to carry our own work boots, so-called boots around with us.
Mm.
And if we didn't have any, many a time went down as a weed locker and took your sea boots and cut them down.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what would have been some other jobs you were on about that time?
Oh, the Canberra.
Yeah.
What
was she like?
She was a tough ship.
Yeah.
She was the hardest ship in the world, I reckon.
Was it? What made it so hard, mate?
Well, she had 24 fires, 18 firemen, 12 trimmers. The trimmers had to wheel the coal up forward and they wheel it back in the stokehold. And you put it all in a dumper and launch the ashes up the other side. And you done 4 on and 8 off. But when it was your turn for being on a day, you done 24 hours straight.
Mm. Mm.
How hot would it get down below on one of them, Jimmy?
Oh, Jesus. Well, to talk about miners have done an easy job to what the firemen had.
Yeah.
You couldn't hang, you going down the stokehold, you couldn't hang on to the rails. It was that off.
That hot. Yeah. Must have been some tough men around then.
There was.
Yeah.
There wasn't many Australians either.
No. No. Or with the belt buckles on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy them buckles, them belts. I still wear one now.
Yeah. And there must have been some characters around too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you had one, Piano Bob. Then you had another one, Benny the Driller. You had big arms, big hands on them. And there was the Seagull. I suppose you read about the Seagull. He got the name on the statue in Western Australia, drunk.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
What was his name on the Triaster that was down below with the piano? Remember?
oh, his name was Peggy.
Yeah.
I went down looking for her one day on the Triaster. I said, "Who's that?" There he is under the piano. He's tuning it up. So, what was his name?
Yeah, I can't remember it, mate.
He used to bring his wife aboard too. But
What the hell was his name? Age, mate.
Yeah.
Memory goes.
yeah, well, him. When he was coming down from Sydney to Melbourne, they would stop the train and put the drunk.
So, what was some other jobs you went on after that, Jim? During the Second World War or that?
The Katoomba.
Katoomba, yeah.
She was another thrift ship.
Was it?
I was in the Iron Chieftain.
Yeah.
I was in the Iron night. The two of them got torpedoed. I wasn't in it.
Mm.
One of the blokes we've done is the last survivor had the Iron Knight. He was deck boy on it.
Yeah.
He only ever was in the Merchant Navy. He was only ever at sea for the 5-6 months, I think. Was the Iron Knight, and he got knocked on that.
Yeah.
Got out of her, joined the Iron King, and then he was old enough to join the Navy. And he thought, "Stuff this! I want to go back where I can shoot at them."
I was into 4 of them. They all
Yeah.
came up from England.
Yeah,
I was in the Iron Chieftain, the Iron King, the Baron, and the Iron Knight.
yeah.
The 4 of them come out from England.
Mm.
And they was the first ship to have the bunks.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
How long before the Iron Knight got knocked were you in her?
Oh, about 3 or 4 weeks.
So he
Was
quite well could have been there with John Stone. He was the deck boy. He was the first trip deck boy on it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the names.
Yeah.
You say they were.
Oh, Joe Armstrong. Do you remember Joe?
Joe Armstrong, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Joe.
Well, he done his 2nd trip with me.
Oh, yeah.
The name of the ship was the Kooyong.
Yeah, Kooyong. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, right.
You're just saying they were the first ships to have bunks. So what did you have before that?
Oh, just like a small beds, you know.
Mm.
It was at the Donkey's Breakfast then.
You know, just some of the same.
Yeah.
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 A bit better.
Yeah.
In the sheets, you had to change one sheet and do.
Yeah.
You change them all, put one underneath, one
Yeah.
on top, and the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Change
Yeah.
them all.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the steward, you had to line up and they give you 2 bits of food a week, a day.
Yeah.
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 Good old days when you didn't get the fruit juice until you got to the tropics.
And when you join a ship, they issue you with a knife, fork and spoon
Yeah.
and a plate and a tin cup.
Mm.
That's what you got issued with.
Mm.
And then the sleeping quarters, you join some ships, the Colac and the likes of them, you all slept in the forecastle head, but in the middle you had a table and you had your forms and you had to scrub them white.
Yeah.
No liner, it was just a bare iron.
Mm.
And the iron decks, that's all you slept in. And yeah.
Bit of a difference from today, mate, when they got
Oh,
bloody
yeah.
carpet and they got their own shower and toilet and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Air conditioning on ships these days.
No,
Yeah.
no air conditioning
Yeah.
in them ships, we
Yeah.
used to have the ventilators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to go back up, same as in the stockhold, you have to go back and turn them ventilators to where the wind's coming.
Yeah.
And there was no fridges in them days. The war was on and they used to put big ice boxes on the hatch. And all the cooks used to have all this food in there.
Mm.
That's all you had.
Mm.
The good old days, mate.
And on that Riverna, I remember the firemen, they used to, the hand basin with the passengers, so you have 22 passengers on picnics and weekenders. And when the ice cream wagon used to come down, they used to the ice and fill the hand basin and a little cupboard underneath. They used to fill the hand basin up with ice, put a wet bag over and keep the beer in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about some of the highs and the lows, Jim? What about some of the highs, the good times, the good ships that you're on?
I just like the Canberra myself and
Yeah.
Triassic.
Yeah.
the Bimba and the Bulkara, they were just ships because it was the same mob all the time.
Mm. Well, what about the opposite? What about some of the low points? Some of the bad ones?
Well, most of the... Well, they wouldn't speak to you, put it that way, they wouldn't mix like they are in these days. Like.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of logging going on in the ships.
Yeah. Well, can you explain what that's, the loggings? Like,
Well,
what would you do? How would you get...
Well, with the Canberra, I was the stokehold bosun. Same as on deck, you know.
Yeah.
You see the engineer that gives you the jobs and you tell them what to do. But anyhow, I remember one time we was up in Cairns in the pub. It was only 10 yards away from the ship. The ABs and the firemen all went over there, in the stokehold there too. Then they wouldn't come back. And the ABs, they was all come back dragging everybody that logged. And they said to one of the ABs, what's the lugging? He said, you should have been on the stage painting, you know. He said, oh, you're a comedian, are you? He said, what do you mean? He said, you should have been on the stage. He said, that's what your lugging was for, not being on the stage. Things like that, you know.
Mm.
You remember that pub in Cairns that used to be right outside the gate?
Yeah.
I went back there a couple of years ago and I'm walking down around the street because I had a couple of hours in Cairns. And I've seen this bloke, I said, he's walking past, I said, tell me something, mate. I said, didn't there used to be a pub here? And he said, yeah. I said, what happened to it? He said, the Barrier Reef, wasn't it?
Yeah, Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah. He said they picked it up lock, stock and barrel and moved it around the corner. And there's a big bare bloody paddock there.
There was 27 hotels there.
Yeah, there was a few.
And there was one, the one on the corner facing where the ship is coming, that was Italians out of they were in
Yeah, the Reef was the next one up, yeah. What was it?
I can't remember that one, but the Great Barrier Reef was the first one I remember.
Yeah.
And then the Miners Exchange is around the corner.
Yeah, but there was another one up there, they used to call it
I know the one you're thinking of, I got thrown out
there's
that
all Aboriginals in there.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they used to call it the boomerang.
The Spear Thrower's Arms.
No, the Spear Thrower's Arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, I remember that.
You could never fight there at any time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you what? Even if you didn't want one.
Yeah. That was one of the best sports I was in. I was shipping out of there, matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shipped out of Cairns, I shipped out of Townsville, Brisbane, Newcastle. I even shipped out of Lucinda Point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I paid off a ship at the time.
Yeah.
And went in hospital in a place called Ingham.
Mm.
So I was in the hospital, it was on the Christmas time, helped to decorate the ward. And the next ship I joined it out of Lucinda Point.
Mm.
Well, she's got a little bit of history about it at the time, hadn't she?
Yeah, I was there with Charlie Lucas and that mob with Darling.
Yeah. At the time, where'd she go around? Of course, out of Reef or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, matter of fact, when she went to Crown, I was in the pilot boat.
Yeah.
When she went to Crown. And matter of fact, I reckon we could have done it off there, they would have let us put a line in.
Yeah.
There was a Peggy on the Seaway Prince, and he used to take great pleasure in pointing out to me the rock where time stood still.
That was
Yeah.
Paddy.
No,
Paddy McPhee.
No, what was his name? Oh, gee, I can't think of it. It'll come to me in a minute. But the first 10 or 20 times he told me was alright. The second 10 or 20 times wasn't bad.
Bored, yeah.
But the third and the fourth and the fifth, I was getting a bit jack of it. But yeah. Can't think of his name. It'll come to me before we finish. So, what about some of the disputes you would have seen on board a ship, or the national disputes? Or that you want to tell us anything about them? Any of the blues that happened?
There's on all the ships again.
Tommy Liley, that was his name. Tommy Liley from Williamstown. Yeah. No, none of them that stick out in your memory as any special ones or big ones?
The big Vietnam ones we used to have, and
Yeah, well, we wouldn't man that ship. What was the other one?
Burnaroo and the Japarrot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't man them ships. They put the Navy on.
Mm.
Only one cook went with them.
Mm. What about some of the changes that you've seen then over your time, mate?
I see a lot of changes.
Yeah. The introduction of Schedule C. And
See, we used to, in Western Australia, I was in the ship around there, can't think of the name of it. And that was, what was that for? We used to shorten the trip up so she couldn't sail and keep the ports in all, this was them in all the ports. We used to shorten them up and they couldn't sail, and always at the weekend then. That's
Yeah.
right, it was over the weekend
yeah,
working penalty rates.
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Then I was in another ship when we shortened the ship up. We was in Sydney, and I don't know what happened, but the union sent a fella down to say why we wouldn't sail.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we told her to beat it.
Yeah. So what was the pickup like in the early days?
Well, the pickup, that's a funny thing.
Yeah.
We had to pick up, and either the engineers or the mates or somebody that had in the office that come to pick up the men. And you'd stand in the line and the engineers used to pick up who they wanted and leave you out, you know. We had two fellas there, father and son. I won't mention the names.
Mm.
But the father, he had French letters and all sticking at the pockets. And they used to pick him because they were already made up. The next day he'd come down and want another man, his son will wear his suit and the same thing will happen and all. That's what went on in them days.
Yeah, little secret
All
signs.
shifty.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what about some of the union officials from them days? Do you remember some of them?
Oh,
Early times?
There's nearly all Liverpool men.
Yeah. Yeah, you said that. So who were some of them there?
There was Sputnik. Do you remember Sputnik?
No, I don't, mate. I don't.
He was a bluesman. His name was Moon.
All right.
So he used to say, I can't think of his first name now. Where's the moon? They said he's around the globe. The globe won't tell you that.
Yeah.
Globe used to be a pub there.
Yeah.
There's the things like that all funny in there.
Yeah. So after moving on a bit into later times, what were some other ships that you were on? In the 60s and 70s and that?
Oh, I was in William McCarter. I was in the old ones too. I was in the William McCarter and well, the Triaceres
Yeah.
in the 60s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Bimbora, Bulkara, the Chunga.
Oh,
I did that many there, wouldn't I?
Yeah, yeah,
I've done all my discharges there.
yeah. And you saw the change from coal to oil burning.
Yeah.
That would have made a big change down below, wouldn't it?
Oh, big change.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other one was the other high night, the coal burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the job.
Would have made a lot less blokes down below, of course, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your last ship before you retired then?
Just ran in advance.
Oh yeah.
She took over from the Australian Explorer when the Explorer went to the breakers.
Yeah.
And when did you retire, Jim?
89, I think.
89. Yeah.
Right. But the Australian advance, I didn't like that ship. But we maybe only stayed in the ship because it's only the better conditions in there. You couldn't leave the engine room,
Mm.
Yeah.
and the engineers, they used to be in the control room while we was all lashed on.
Oh, on the plates, yeah.
See?
Do you pick her up, Jimmy?
No.
No. I remember she picked up as we were swinging off the buoy in off the anchor. I think it was in Kaohsiung just before we went into the breakers.
Oh,
She did a round trip around, a couple of turns around us, and tooted a whistle as if to say goodbye because we were going to the breakers yard on the Explorer, and that's when she picked up.
yeah, Billy there was bosun.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And
And Brian Lee was the other
Brian
bosun.
Lee,
Yeah, the Penguin.
he finished up in Tassie, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, down at the
Burn.
school. Yeah. 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 So, what do you got any tales you want to put on tape, or any stories you want to tell us, or?
What about that?
Oh, anything.
It's your story, Jimmy. Anything you want to say, mate?
Any comments or anything you want to say?
Oh, there's only different jams. We was all drinking in old Thomas at Brisbane nightclub. I won't mention their names, but while we're sitting there, there's two fellas in there, and this other man of mine is arguing the point with one of the fellas we didn't know, and when the fella offered him out, he hung onto his chair so he couldn't move. So anyhow, I'm looking at him. I said, go outside. No, hang on, that's it. So I started singing, go outside, go outside. I was going to hit the fellow when he stood up.
Yeah.
But when he stood up, he was 7 foot. Him and his brother. Oh, I said, you are a big boy. I said, half of your body must have been under that table. So, my other mate, he's then standing in the back of this fella, ready to hit him with a chair.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I sprang a punch at him, but it didn't move him.
Mm. How did
I think they all finished in the locked up, that's right.
yeah? How did when the SRF come into being in the 70s? How did it would have been a good thing for you, Jimmy, rather than as the old fellas who retired then went down the gangway up their last payoff and that, so you would have been right with the SRF?
No, I finished up. The money I got, I had it for about 3 months. I never had any money, so I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, what I meant was, rather than in the good old days before the SRF where you had your last payoff, at least the SRF was a little bit of a godsend from
yeah, well, I'll tell you about it. The wife said, "What do you do with the cheque?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "No, I was too old. I was 68 then, you couldn't roll it over."
Yeah.
So I was up talking to the fellow in the Commonwealth Bank, and I said, "What can I do with the 70,000? He said, "I can put it in the Australian wide fund."
Yeah.
And he put it in there. He took $700 out of it for doing it. And when he put it in there, it wouldn't government guarantee. We lost a lot.
You're kidding.
Yeah, jeez.
Lost a lot.
You're kidding, mate.
Couldn't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
When you did it at 68, was that the right 68 or was that the...
Yeah,
Yeah, it was your real age 68.
yeah.
How did that misunderstanding come about with your discharge, wasn't it? Wrong age?
Well, they all were my favourites.
Mongrels, weren't they? Homeboat.
What is this?
I would have done away with it. I would have been still done away.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Only the immigration, I used to pay $20 and that covered me visa for 3 years. For the latter 3 years run out.
Yeah.
We should have sailed on a Thursday and on a Wednesday. They rang me up. They said you should be on the ship. If I paid off and went back on the coast, I would have been still away.
Yeah.
So my other old mate's still away, Billy.
The silver fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got to find out his right age one of these days too, you know.
Somebody told me 77.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh, that's pretty good, mate. That's all right. That's good. You don't have any more you want to add or anything you want to say, but any more stories you want to tell? There must be a few stories in there.
I can tell you a lot of stories.
Yeah. Well, give us a couple. Give us one.
I was going down to join a ship one day, drunk.
No, find that hard to believe.
Now going past the abattoirs, and I decided to the ship, and I took the ship, and the copper stopped me. So I missed the ship. And yeah, another time I met my mate in the city. He said, "I've missed my train." I said, "Where do you live?" He said, "Cockatoo." So anyhow, I said, "I'll run me home, full." So we finished up, down up the Cockatoo, drinking on the way, and we run off the road, and we stopped at the train. So I couldn't get out, so we got out, And he had to get on the road and pull up a tourist bus, 2 o'clock in the morning. And he pulled us out, and away we went. So anyhow, when we got there, we carried on drinking. He says, "You better wake your wife up." I said, "Oh yeah," so I rang her up. He said, she said, "Where are you?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I'm in the bush somewhere." I said, "I'm cold, it's raining, I've got no money. Can you send me some up?" She said, "Where will I send it?" I said, "Oh, I don't know." And my mate clock in the kitchen started ticking. Cuckoo, cuckoo. So the phone looked back there. After that's a clock a day, my mate do it to me for souvenir.
You'd notice a big difference these days with the people that are going to see these days, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, you don't see him in the pub anymore.
No.
It's too dear for a start.
Yeah.
There's not enough of them to get many off the ship anyway. That you're either on the gear or you're in bed waiting for your turn.
You still go down to the coastals and have a beer every now and then?
Yeah, every second day.
Yeah.
I know you used to lead a charmed life when you'd come down to that Trans-Tas Trader. I used to sometimes, oh, geez, there's no way that you're going to get home tonight, but you always did.
Well, I was coming off there one night, and I said, "I've done my licence and on my push bike." You remember that?
I do, yeah.
So a pile with cigarettes and whiskey and everything. And back of me, there was all swamps down there. You remember the swamps? And I run off the road and I finished up right off the road into all the mud. And when I knocked myself out, but when I come to, the bike was on top of me. And I stood up, I couldn't see, and I started panicking. So anyhow, I got out of that all right. Another time, I was in my car, and there used to be a big ditch down there, about 8 foot. Instead of me doing a right-hand turn, I went right over the top. $80 for a tow truck.
Oh, Jimmy.
That was good days.
All right, mate. Well, that's pretty good. You got some good stuff there you put on for us. Unless you got any more you want to add, do you? Anything you want to say? This is your chance to. Any more stories you want to tell? Or if you're happy with that, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, they can't mention names, so
No, that's fine. Yeah.
So we got into trouble another time in Billy with the ship called the Haddonian Duke.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Not quite sure.
They caught us in the falls. She come out with a stab through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the name. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So we was in the phone box, and them special coppers came, you know. They wanted to know what I was doing in the phone box and all that. So anyhow, I did a phone call from the they said, that ship's, first of all, we wouldn't let it come in, wouldn't. So when it was coming out, they rang us up and said, everything's all clear, but this ship is coming out. But when she was coming out, me and this mate of mine, we stopped all the ABs and left from taking a pilot off.
Was that during that Canadian Seaman strike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they had the other one, the Falkland Park. She came out with a snap through, cold. They put the wharf, tried to get the wharfies to unload it. They finished up in the army to unload it.
Mm.
Well, she finished up on the coast then.
Yeah.
What name was that when she was on the coast? Okay.
Just after the war.
Was it?
Mm.
They kept the same name, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
She ran for years out there. They took her up in the islands somewhere too.
So all in all, you rather enjoyed your time at sea? You rather enjoyed your time at sea?
Yeah, I really miss it, still miss it. The only company I've had is Seaman. I'm with my own company.
Yeah. You want to come down anytime and come out in the tug with us, mate, for a run? Give us a yell. I'll take you out.
I was the first union man that joined them tugs.
Yeah.
That was 1942, I think.
Yeah, right.
With the James Patterson.
Oh, yeah.
Those all coal barrels.
Yeah.
The James Patterson, they didn't have a union brewer on it then. So they came with our pickup to pick the pickup brewer for the tug instead of the James Patterson.
Yeah.
And we sort of towed the 5 army badges. We sort of towed them up in the islands. But in them days, they had no idea of towing.
Mm.
Instead of putting a V on it, they put one line on it for 5 badges. So they give us 5 danger money, £5 danger money for taking them. So when we took them, it was bad weather. Back at me, we lost the tugs. And the convoy, she was coming out, and the convoy was zigzagging. We said, what are they doing zigzagging like that? They didn't have the way the badges. So anyhow, we come back in, we tied up, and about 3 days later they gave us 4 badges.
Mm.
So when we was taking these badges, and we got to Hayden, we ran around and lost the badges, and the big Canadian tug picked the badges up and took the run over.
Mm.
They had no idea towing.
Yeah. Mm. Did you say before you were on the American small ships too?
Yeah.
Did anyone get hold of you when they wrote a book about the American small ships?
Pardon?
Did anyone get hold of you when they wrote a book about it? Oh, he buggered. My old man was in the Yankee small ships too, and he wrote a book about it. Him and his mate Bill Lunny wrote a book about the American small ships. Bill Lunny and my old man. They wrote a book about them. They got hold of quite a few of the people out of the American small ships.
Yeah, I didn't like them that much, or too strict.
Yeah.
So I walked off it.
Oh yeah. What ones were you in?
A ship called the what's the name of it? She's on the coast every years. On a small ship.
Yeah. Not the White Earp or one of them.
No, I remember the one there.
Yeah.
She was a wooden job.
Oh yeah.
She used to run around the Antarctic.
Yeah.
She used to lay Williams down.
Yeah.
or the Nura,
Oh yeah.
the name of the ship I was in. They gave us the option, and there was only one would never stay with it.
Yeah.
They was all sitting ducks, them ships.
Yeah.
To take it to cargo off the biggest ships, the limited boats, and they run them through the lakes. Sitting ducks there, man. Yeah, I walked up on one horse,
How long did you spend on it?
not much.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in that hospital ship too, the Menanda,
Oh yeah.
and there was one of the stabs in there too. But he didn't last long.
Yeah.
We got some fellow waiting on the wharf, and they say, all aboard? Yeah, all aboard. We sail with another fella. I was trying to think of his name too. So we finished up signing on, and the other fellow lost his job.
Were there many of them still around when you first were going in the late 50s, early 50s and that, Jim?
What's
The Scabs still around?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were on the water. The Canberra was the only ship that never ever carried any.
Yeah.
Was it?
We was in the Canberra one time, and we wouldn't sail with her then. We had her alongside the wharf. We wanted the third class accommodation because it was only empty.
Yeah.
So anyhow, they put the Navy in. And the Navy couldn't even get them away from the wharf.
Yeah.
So they get rid of the Navy and take the Seaman back in.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So we finished up in the third accommodation.
Yeah.
But that Menanda, the Centaur was down there then, so he came up to Brisbane to relieve the Menanda.
Yeah.
Well, the Menanda, we told some of the others what happened to the Menanda. They took no notice of what we told them. She was bombed up Menanda. Not when I was in it. I joined the trip after. But we told the soldiers, what do they call them? Bullwins. They came and they had rifles and we made them take them off. We said this hospital was another troop ship. So we told the captain then we wanted to know what was in the cargo and all. We told them what we done there, but
Do you have any near misses and that during the war and that, mate?
yeah, I was in a couple of ships we got locked to death in one ship. In the fog, you know, thick fog, we couldn't get away.
Yeah.
And the ship was banging and swinging in, banging, banging, banging. We couldn't get away. So, anyhow, we finished up then away from there.
What ship was that? Do you remember?
No, the Iron Knob was the ship we was caught with.
Well, that happened being convoy in the fog.
Then, in the Parlour boat another time, we got tangled up with another ship there locked with a fog.
Yeah.
And we were banging away the same thing, you know. And she had a big shooter in there. And this joined knocked some of the cabins off the other ship. Nothing said about that.
Yeah.
But when she started sinking, this is the Parlour boat, It started sinking, then stopped.
Mm.
So anyhow, the engineers, they put the pumps on, they couldn't pump it out. So when they got into port, they got the fire brigade in, and they pumped it out and straightened the ship up. So I went to see what damage it done, you know. So the fireman said to me, have a look at this. So I went and had a look. There was a big split in the bow of it, and it was full of jellyfish.
Yeah, right.
Stopped the water from coming in.
Right. Which pilot boat was that, can you remember?
The Akuna.
The Akuna, and then the Wona was the one after her, wasn't you?
Yeah, AKUNA.
Yeah, Akuna. Yeah.
Mm. So saved by a jellyfish, eh?
But it just shows you things what you don't read about, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Nowadays, you swear and curse and that if you get jellyfish anywhere near you, especially in the bloody filters and that.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
That used to be a mongrel of a job going up the Brisbane River.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah.
Mm.
Especially when you have to clean them purifiers.
Yeah. And stink. Oh.
Yeah. But I've been stung with them too, you know.
Yeah.
They sting.
Yeah.
Mary knew she was the first ship to, because it was a fireman who got the ship right into the officers' mess, because he used to be with the bosun in the. Now when he went in the Merino, when they put him in there, what they done, they built a little table, 3 foot long, and they put the shipwright sitting at this little table by himself with his back to the wall.
That's right, yeah.
And that's the way they were. And also, the lights, reading lights. You had no reading lights, and the only lights you had, they used to burn the kerosene lamps, them hanging up in the joint. They were often no good for you. But there was a fireman what made reading lights, and they fitted them over the top of the bunks, and they used to read there. And the engineers, they said, the generators, the dynamos won't carry that weight.
Mm.
They said, well, it will, because everybody fitted up with reading lights and running off the dynamos.
Mm.
That day you got the reading lights over the bunks. Ships, we had no washing machines. The ships what didn't have a washing, well, there was no washing machine. We used to make our own with a 44-gallon drum and a big rubber around it, and we used to fit it on to the ballast pump. We used to start the ballast pump. ABs, when I was doing 24-hour gear change, the ABs used to give me all their dungarees and stuff, and I used to pile them all into this drum, start the ballast pump, and pump them.
Mm.
Then hang them up around the rails in the engine room. But another time, the engineers, they got theirs, so when they fitted it up with a handful of caustic soda in the water, and when they hung the washing up, they all fell to pieces. My father and Tommy, one of my older brothers, they was in the ship called the Yarrow when the 35 strike had started.
Mm-hmm.
So they went on strike, and Tommy, it took him 18 months after the strike to do the job.
Mm. Yeah.
The first ship he joined was the Iron Chieftain when she first came out.
Mm.
Then as soon as he joined there, the war started, and he joined the Navy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Then
So that, during that 35 strike, you would have only been a young fella then, but there must have been some bad feelings there, was there?
Yeah, well, me and my younger mother, we used to dead around.
Why?
We used to dead around at the back of the mission.
Oh yeah.
And when the stabs used to come down to join the ships used to come right down that river, even the Narrunner. So when they used to come down, we used to find out who they were. Then we were doing over, and there was always a union man ready to join the ship.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So that's how we started.
Yeah.
And there was, we started up at the Narrunner that way. Then I ripped Bert Knoll into another ship. I was knocking him into the Lady Isabel for the third time. And there was, Bert came aboard one night. He said, "That bastard's a stab." I said, "Who told you, Bert?" He said, "Somebody in the pub." So I said, "I'll find out for sure," because we made out a list of all the names. But first, he said to the fella, he said, "You stabby bastard." So he went back ashore where he woke it up, and he come back. And the first one he met was this stab. He said, "You stabby bastard." And the stab, he pulled out a razor and slashed Bert's face.
Did he? Yeah.
So Bert, he pulled his coat over his head, but it didn't make any difference, you know. So we finished up, we jumped onto this fella from the top ladder. Did a bit of a kicking like, and the two of them finished up in the yacht room. So during the night, this fella got out of bed and he buggered off, and he was missing for years. So when Bert Nola went in office, this bastard came in the office to try and get back on the coast.
Yeah.
And when he seen Bert, he'd shot away and never seen him anymore.
So when would that have been? What year?
I'll be about 43 or 44
Was it?
or something.
Yeah.
43 or something.
Yeah.
So he was one of them out of the ship.
Yeah.
And the Narrunner, I think I was in the Narrunner 5 or 6 times I was in it. And out of the time I was in it, I got rumble dismissal 4 times out of 6.
Yeah.
So my mate was in there, Andy Wigby, and there was another fella in there, Wicks, one of the snaps. So he learned judo. When he was in the Navy, before, years ago, he learned all this judo in Japan. So Andy Wigby, a Liverpool fella, well boy too. Matter of fact, he was a mate of my father's. He had to do with this Wicks. But Wicks, with his judo, he kept putting Andy on his back all the time, you know.
Yeah.
So I said to Andy, I said, "You have no idea of handling them fellas." "What do you mean?" he said. I said, "I'll show you." So when I come off watch, I went into his cabin there while he was asleep and put the bird in, right at the face. So we got rid of that. He was one of them.
Yeah.
Well, there was 9 left.
Was it? Yeah.
So I got the second aim.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I took the second engineer to court, and this was about 44, and I took it to court, Judge Foster. Anyhow, Elder came down from Sydney for the court case, big case it was, and he asked different questions. Another mate of mine, Joe Cole, he was walking up the gangway. He joined it with me, and he's walking up the gangway to join the ship, you know, with his suitcase, and I was at the back of him. So when he came up, the engineer standing on top, he said, "You finish on the rifle."
Yeah.
To me, mate.
Yeah.
So he sacked me even before he joined the ship.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we took him to court, the second engineer. So in the court, they asked the questions, you know, we said, why was Joe Cole sacked? He said, I didn't want him in the ship. He said, what was Smith sacked for? He said, I didn't want him in the ship. So I jumped up there and I said, I've been in the ship 6 times. I said, and I've been ruffled dismissal 4 times out of the 6. I said, the men's have no time for union men. I said, it's all for the stabs. And Elliot jumped up and said, that's enough of that talk. He said, volunteers. I said, they're not volunteers in my eyes, they're stabs. So that was all right. I said, you find out that the engineer was out of the ship and the 9 stabs was out of the ship, there would be no more trouble. So anyhow, they got rid of the chief engineer, the second engineer, and he put him in the Colac. And he put the 9 stabs in the Colac too. So when he put the stabs in the Colac, all the wharfies walked off the job. So anyhow, they had to get rid of the stabs then, and what they done, they all joined the American small ships, so we heard no more about them.
Yeah.
So that got rid of the 9 stabs then, and she was clear.
And they were they the last on the coast?
That was the last.
Yeah. And so that was what, 44 you reckon?
Yeah, about 44.
Yeah, right.
So anyhow, the next ship I joined the Colac with Andy Rigby and that, you know, pretty decent mob, like a bit rough. And we joined the Colac and she went up to Darwin or Port Marjorie somewhere. And this second Indian, he was chief of it, and he hated me. So anyhow, that got rid of him anyhow. So, as soon as the war finished, I got a letter that no longer required in the maritime industry for life. So I said, all right. So I wrote them a letter back, and they said that they repeated what they said, no longer required in the maritime industry for life. So I went back overseas and I joined the Orman, big passenger ship. I paid off in Tilbury. Then I joined a Norwegian coal burner. I was in there for 5 months. I paid off there, I joined a Norwegian tanker. I was the only Englishman in all the ships. That was all the mixed crew. And I joined another Norwegian, I went off to Falmouth. So in Falmouth, I got in with a Norwegian in the pub. And it was snowing at the time too, he had nowhere to sleep. So I got in with this Norwegian, he said, you better come aboard, sleep aboard. She was in dry dock. Big ship she was there. So anyhow, I was finished up down at Falmouth and the Norwegian said, there's a job down there. I said, oh yeah. He said, the donkey beans job. He said, you up and see the old man. So I went up. I said, I'll be leaving there, the document captain. He said, yeah. He said, got your papers? I said, yeah. He said, send me second certificate. That was this person, what we call it. So he took him out to the ship and offered and he signed me on. And I was 18 months in that ship. I was the only Englishman there. And we never seen an English port for the 18 months.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So after the 18 months I paid off the ship in Rotterdam. I started shipping out of Rotterdam. The next ship I joined, a ship called the Genesis. She went on the same run. So I was in there for 6 weeks, paid off there. Then I joined another ship there, Norwegian, all oil tankers. And I was 14 months around the South American ocean there.
All right.
I paid off there. I paid off in Gothenburg. So I started shipping out of Quarter Train, I started shipping out of Oslo. And anyhow, I joined another tanker there, and she was away 10 months. And after a while I joined another tanker. I was in the Norwegian pool, like, and he gave me another tanker. I said, I mean, that's someone running to Australia or something? No, he said. He said, oh, by the way, he said, there's one ship here, a ship called the Timothy Williamson Line. He said, she's on her maiden voyage. And it was Christmas Day it was. And I joined that, and I got back here. I got off the ship here and had a row with one of the fellas with a bit of wood or something. So I got into the Smithers. I said, thanks very much, just what I wanted.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I said to Billy Bird, I said, I want to get back on the coast, Bill. He said, that's all right. So he fixed the court case up for me. And they came down for Sydney for that case too. So the first thing he asked me, he said, where have you been for the last 12 years? I said, still at sea. I did my Norwegian books, you know. I said, here's my books. 18 months, 14 months, 10 months. He said, I don't read Norwegian, they mean nothing to me. I said, it is to me, it's my livelihood. So with my record, he had no option but let me back on the coast.
What were they like, the Norwegian ships? What was the comparison with the Australian ships?
Oh, I love them.
Yeah. What were the conditions?
Oh, a lot different.
Yeah.
And they were still the same, like no carpers and nothing like they done on the coast here now. And I'm in the cabin, that's all line and that, you know, same as the old time. But
what about the mates and engineers? What were they like?
oh, very good.
Were they?
Yeah. But they're all short-handed all the time, Norwegian ships.
So how would you rate them? Like same as the Australian ships, better or worse, or how would you reckon?
No, the same.
Same, yeah. Yeah.
You were in the Canberra too, weren't you, Jimmy?
6 times I was in there, different times.
What was she like?
Pretty hard.
She had what? How many fires?
24 fires.
Did it? Yeah.
And you done 4 to 8. Some watches you have 4 fires to look after. And maybe the next watch you'll have 3 fires, you know. So she was a hard ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the one that the scab accidentally walked underneath the ash bag?
No. That was a ship called the Cougar,
Tell us what happened there.
Oh, we're winding up the ashes, you know, so when we finished the ashes, we waited till the last bag of ashes came up. And I said, you down there? He said, yeah, and I let the bag fall on him.
That's
Another ship I was on, there was one of the stabs, there was only one in it. I said, I'll fix you, you bastard. So we used to have the hot water hands, you know, for making the tea and that. So I said, I'm watching him, you know, I said, I'll catch you, you bastard. So he's leaning over, but then his cup. So while he's leaning over, I switched the hand on and stole it all again. So he paid off the ship.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we got rid of them all.
Yeah, yeah. Did
Maybe young money we used a pot white lead. We used to find out where they lived and we used to scribble this man's a stab and all that. But you never see nothing like that, no.
Did any of them ever come back to sea, or did
No.
they all finished complete?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few of your relatives went to sea too, didn't they, mate?
And
Your brothers and your father went to sea?
oh yeah.
Yeah. You were telling me a story there the other day. You and, was it Tommy? Used to, before you went to sea, down behind the Seaman's Mission?
No, that was Charlie.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was a wild boy, Charlie.
And you had another brother on the pilot boat, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Joe. Oh, I told you about him.
Yeah, you never told us on this.
Well, when he was in the army and that, you know. And he finished up, he joined the pilot boat. So anyhow, he's done his 10 and one of the fellas rung up and said he was sick. And he asked Joe to do his next week for him, you know. In bad weather, you had to row the boats in them days. And they were big boats, to row. And then they put the pilot on the ship called the Mahia. The Mayai, they used to call it for short. And she caught up fire in the Victoria Docks. She was here for 14 months, didn't refit. But Joe, they put the pilot on, and bad weather, the boat got turned off and Joe lost his life.
Was Joe younger or older than you, mate?
Older.
Older.
When would that have been, man?
About 42. 42.
And what was the pilot boat? What was she called? Do you remember?
Kuna.
Akuna, was it? Doesn't matter. I was just.
I forget if it was the Victoria or the Acuna.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Just.
It was on the Victoria. There was only the two. The Victoria. They were skull burners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty good job. We used to do 2 weeks on and a week off.
Good job down below. I wouldn't have liked in rowing them boats, so.
No, they was big boats.
Yeah.
And yeah, seen it there one time, bad weather. That's where they got them safety. You know what they
The harnesses. Yeah.
they hook them on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where they got them.
Yeah.
I seen a bad weather there one time, they lifted them right up the hooks. So that's where they got the safety.
Yeah.
And,
All right. Well, that was good, mate. That was some interesting history there you just give us.
yeah, but when Tommy joined the Navy in '39, he done it from 39 right up to 45 when the war finished. And his last 3 years was in the Canimbula. Do you know she was in more action than any other ship?
Was it?
Canimbula?
What was her official title? Merchant cruiser, was it? Or?
Yeah, half cruiser.
Yeah.
She used to carry all Yanks. She had 24 barges, but when they used to bomb the cities, the Canimbula went in and dropped all the soldiers. She captured the Canimbula, she captured a dry dock,
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
she captured a city and a train.
And a train.
Yeah.
So she was in some action, that Canimbula.
Yeah,
People,
yeah.
and people don't realise it.
And your brother was on that all
Yeah.
the last 3 years, was he? Of the war.
Yeah, and the ship, there was a depth shower a Jap Marine got suicide. He dropped on the end of it.
Mm.
Tried to bomb and he dropped on the end of it.
Kamikaze pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't know the history of what went on during the war.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Yeah, go on, Johnny Sullivan.
Yeah. Oh, we wouldn't have anything to say about him. Only a good fella.
Yeah, he fought Carruthers too.
Yeah. And his mate was Ray Granite. Another big Liverpool fella. Yeah.
Where were you with him on? Where were you with Johnny Sullivan?
Australia.
Oh, yeah.
I've done the last 7 months of it in Australia.
Yeah.
She went up to the Milford Sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When he fought Carruthers, how did he go?
Oh, Carruthers with him.
Yeah.
But he was a good fella, you know. That's all I've done to say about it.
Oh, that's alright. We'll remember something in a minute.
Every weekend.
Yeah.
And they was in a ship called the Mara. You remember the Mara?
No, it's a bit before my time, mate.
And yeah, I told you about that, didn't I? The Mara. That's when they sent the officials down. We told them to beat it.
Did we get that on the first one?
Don't remember it.
No, don't. But tell us again.
Well, tell us again, mate. What was that story?
Oh, when we used to stick ships up every weekend. So,
What was that for, Jim? What was that over? What was the cause?
I forget what it was over.
Was
now.
that weekend penalties and that, wasn't it?
Yeah, weekend.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They used to shorten the ships up, and we shortened the Mara up in Sydney. Then another one was in the Woomera around the west. So we shortened it up there. So we had the weekend up there. So me and my mate, Geordie Connors. Suppose you knew him, would you?
I'm not quite sure. I knew Johnny Connors.
No,
Yeah.
Geordie.
Yeah.
He was a good boxer.
Yeah.
Geordie. And A.B. Bishop. I think he held 3 titles in.
Yeah.
Well, he done his second trip with me, A.B. So we booked into a hotel in the west. And that fella, Doran, he fought before Carruthers. He was a bouncer there. So anyhow, we booked into the hotel, put our bags up there, we came round to the bar. So a bit of a row started and the bouncer came in. So anyhow, the bouncer got knocked out and the coppers came, took us up to our room, done our bags, got a taxi and said, we don't want you Eastern gangsters up here. And they put us and sent us back. So that buggered the weekend up.
Yeah, I think that when you used to jack them up was when they dropped the award rate, wasn't it? From 1 and whatever it was down to 1 and tuppence farthing or some bloody thing, wasn't it? It was before I went to sea.
The rates was 1 and 9pence at sea.
Yeah.
And 2 3pence in port. That was the overtime rates. So and you done 24 hours a year, it seems.
Yeah.
So just working all the time there.
I remember doing 24-hour gear turns right up in the mid-70s.
Yeah.
We used to on the Triaster, mate.
Triaster.
Yeah, used to down below on deck we'd do it.
I was knocking in there for 6 years.
White Ladies of the Pacific.
Lovely ship.
Yeah.
Well, she was a bad ship when I joined it too. Yeah, Mr. Triaster hit it.
Yeah.
Big Bob Day.
Was the evil little bastard skipper there when you were there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's an evil little prick, wasn't he?
Yeah, so I nearly got put out of the industry when I first joined there.
Yeah.
Big Bob Day offered me out. He said, we'll have go on the wharf, you know. I said, don't worry about the wharf, and I jumped on it. So we run to the union. So anyhow, a fella from Tassie was bosun there. In the Maltese, this Charlie Sakita, he said to me, "Hey Jim," he said, "the bosun chucked a marlin's back at tobacco." Remember the tobacco there?
Oh, I can't remember,
He
mate.
said, "It's just missed his head." I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, thanks very much." So when the union came down, before they came down, they said to the bosun, "I want to have a word with you, bosun." Big red-headed fella. I said, "I believe you chucked the marlin's back at tobacco. I just missed it." They called the meeting off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Bob Day, he paid off Mr. Triaster, that he used to call him,
Yeah.
knocking around with all the painters and knocking, but they wouldn't do much for him.
You were in the Astor when the safe got knocked off, weren't you? Remember when Rose took the title off Arada? In Geelong in 69 I think it was. Yeah.
That was at Cape York.
No, on the Triaster too. And Evans bloody kept the majority of the money in his cabin, and he said, "Oh, I had a feeling something was going to go on." I mean, he kept $25,000 in his cabin and about $5,000 in the safe down below.
I heard about it, but
Yeah.
I wasn't there that time.
You must have got out of it or on leave out of it.
Well, in the Cape York too,
Yeah.
around the west, the safe went off in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that evil little... Oh, he was a horrible little prick, that skipper. Bad bit of work.
Evans.
Evans. Yeah, bad bit of work, wasn't he?
The other fellow, he was a real gentleman.
George Kitching. George Kitching.
No.
Which one?
With the white gloves.
Yeah, which...
He used to go sniffing at the sinks.
which
See your
was the other...
president.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
was... Yeah, and the white gloves, yeah.
Looking for dust.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, she was a
No,
phosphate
the
carrier.
other fella, what was his name? Oh, real gentleman. He used to come to all that two nights and all.
Yeah, no, I only ever had the two skippers in the
He-
Astor when I was there.
He was in the city one time, and something fell on with the coals, and he died later on.
Yeah.
But he was a lovely fellow. Really.
Was it Macmillan? Was there a
No.
bloke called Macmillan in...
No.
I can't. As I said, I only was with Kitching and Evans.
When I first went to sea, we had a licence. I think we used to pay $1 for the licence.
Yeah.
And we had the first and second preference when I first went to sea.
What was the first and second preference? What was that for?
Well, the first preference was the, well, I wouldn't know half because everyone was small, but they took a first preference or before they took a second preference for experience.
That was what they called the Dog Collar Act, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when I first went away.
Yeah.
I think we used to pay $1
Yeah. Yeah, it was a shilling,
for
mate.
the licence.
The only reason I know that because my missus asked me the other day what was the Dog Collar Act, and I looked it up in the history of the
Matter
journal,
of fact,
history of the Union.
I've done all my union books in there, all bar one,
Yeah.
where we used to pay £2 a year. Used to be 10 shillings a quarter union fees.
Yeah.
Then we had a burial fund if anybody died, you know, a burial fund. And we used to pay £2 for that, I think, the burial fund. And somebody knocked that off.
Yeah.
I think the official was, they used to call them honest job. But they didn't know where the money went.
Yeah.
My father died in 1942, and the union never voted him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the way things was ours, you know.
Yeah.
Big difference in 10 shillings a quarter than what they're paying now,
Oh
isn't
yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, so as I was just saying, the 35 strike, well, that was caused by the Dog Collar Act, wasn't it? Which was the government that was in then? Can you remember? Was the Liberal? They didn't call themselves the Liberal then, did they?
United Australia.
United Australia. But I know Menzies was the Attorney General.
Would have been Lions, I think.
Yeah.
lines from Tasmania.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so that was. Yeah, that resulted in the 35 strike. Yeah,
ratted on the party.
yeah. So how long did the strike go for anyway?
10 weeks.
Yeah, and the repercussions went for bloody near 10 years. Yeah.
Then them bay boats, the Jarvis Bay, the Large Bay, the 4J boats, they used to belong to Australia, and Billy Hughes sold them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy Hughes sold the 4 bay boats around.
The most famous of them being the Jervis Bay.
Yeah, she was the one who was his second.
Yeah.
I thought it was at Bruce that sold them.
No, Billy Hughes.
Was it?